What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Loper Show. I'm solo this week, but it's kind of cool, man. Next week, a brand new artist that I'm going to introduce you guys to called Doobie, and I think you guys are going to really dig that show. Got to do a lot of fun things over the weekend. I went to see the new Sonic movie, Sonic the Hedgehog, you know. My son Knox really wanted to go, so we went over to Easton and checked it out. I love going over there because they do the whole, like, they'll bring you like your meal straight to your seat. So you get there, you don't have to go in the crazy ass line, you know. So as soon as you sit down, you get comfortable, you put the feet up. All of a sudden, here comes some lady with a bunch of slushies and popcorn and whatever the hell else my son orders. But it was good, man. You know, Jim Carrey, of course, plays the villain. And they introduced a new character in this movie, Shadow, which was voiced by Keanu Reeves. It was kind of cool, man. The soundtrack was actually dope, too. They had Goldfinger on there, The Prodigy, and a brand new song from Jelly Roll, which I'm sure you guys have heard that. So, I don't know, just a little family advice. If you got the kids home for the weekend or something, and you guys looking for a flick to watch, Sonic 3 definitely treated me and the fam correct. I don't know if you guys have heard about this or not, but there's a concert that is maybe going to be like the concert to end all concerts. It will be the final appearance of Ozzy Osbourne on stage, performing not only his solo material, but performing with Black Sabbath. Now, before you get so excited, the tickets are like $1 million, by the way. It's happening over in Birmingham, England. The weird thing is, Ozzy is in a state where I don't really know if he's going to be able to get up there and perform like what we would picture as an Ozzy Osbourne concert. Now, even when he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, he was not able to get up and actually do his thing. If you guys remember that, remember they had all the artists come up on stage. Ozzy was seated like in a big throne, and they had tons of people on stage from Zakk Wylde to Jelly Roll to different musicians, Sully Erna from Godsmack, bunch of people, right? And it was really cool. But Ozzy was seated the whole time, and he really didn't have to perform outside of, I mean, let's be honest, lip syncing. It breaks my heart, man. But I mean, if that's the only way we get to see Ozzy, hey, I'll take it. But whenever I talk to people about this, a lot of people are like, oh, it's going to be such a sick concert. He's going to play all of his songs. I'm sure Zakk Wylde's going to be on stage. And then Sabbath will come out. He'll do all of his best stuff with Sabbath, and that'll be the final time we get to see it. Yeah, I don't know about that. It'll definitely be the final time, but when it comes to this concert, I would not have high hopes that anyone that is seated in the middle that looks like Ozzy Osbourne is going to be doing anything remotely live. I think most of the concert will be him lip syncing. I mean, perhaps he sings along with a track, but I don't even think he'll be able to get up and actually walk around the stage. I mean, that's how serious his situation is. But I mean, the concert tickets are out of control. I mean, they're reselling on the secondary market for like $2,500 to $5,000, which is insane. I mean, concert tickets in general are insane right now. Like, we got a bunch of shows coming here in Columbus and a bunch of great shows coming to Nashville and South Florida as well. But one of the shows I was looking into was either to see Deftones back home in South Florida or here in Columbus. And I looked at the tickets for here in Columbus, which is at the end of next month. And I cannot believe the tickets, like, for just to be on the floor are over $300. The Deftones, I love the Deftones, but $300? I mean, there's got to be a point where somebody steps in, whether it's the government or somebody, and they put a cap on the secondary market. Now, yes, I think if you own something, you should be able to resell it at your whatever you think the value is or whatever you can get for it. I'm definitely supportive of that, but at the same time, all of these extra service fees that Ticketmaster has, didn't Biden do something about that? Wasn't that a whole thing? Didn't he sign something? Well, I got news for you. It's not in effect yet because, I mean, these tickets just pick a show. I don't know when the last time you bought concert tickets. I mean, perhaps I'm a little spoiled having worked in the industry for so long and getting so many free concert tickets. When I do go and have to purchase concert tickets, you get definitely that price tag shock, I don't know, man, like $300. I want to be on the floor. Not, I don't want to necessarily fight my way up to the wall or anything, but I would like to be close. It's almost laughable. Like when you look at the concert tickets. I mean, like $341, I believe, after all the fees and taxes. I mean, that's insane, guys. So I have to be honest, we did the TV episode a few weeks ago with Damon Martin, and one of the shows that we talked about was one of my favorites, the White Lotus, right? They've had 2 phenomenal seasons. It's about these awesome resorts called the White Lotus. And on both of the first 2 seasons, they had, primo locations like Hawaii. And I mean, you're almost like in the first episode, just living vicariously through the characters. You're like, oh, I would like to be on vacation there. Oh, I could definitely deal with this. And then as the season goes on, all kinds of antics and murders and scenarios go down. And so you're kind of following this cast of characters that, have all these different branches of storylines, and then they all kind of culminate into one by the end of the show, right? Well, season 3, I got to be honest with you, man, kind of shit in the bed a little bit. It's not, in my opinion, so far, anything like the first 2 seasons were. Like, just boom, out of the gate, you're so enthralled, you love the characters, you're so into the storyline. I have to be honest, I don't know that I can say I'm any of those things with the new White Lotus. Now, this is only 2 episodes in this season as of right now recording this podcast, but I don't know. I would love to know what you guys think. If you want to leave it in the comment section below, are you a little disappointed? Are you satisfied with this season of The White Lotus? Hit me up down below. We were talking about concerts a few minutes ago and actually went to a show the other night here in Columbus. There's a cool club, man. If you haven't been, it's called the King of Clubs, and it's over at the Old Continent area. And this club is dope, man. I've seen a few bands there. Just a couple of weeks ago, I saw my boys from South Florida, Nonpoint, played there. But in oldie, but man, legends in the game, Local H played King of Clubs just last week, and I went, and it was so rad. These guys sounded just as good as the first time I saw them back in 1996. The radio station I was working at the time was called The Buzz, and it was the beginning of our concert, the Buzz Bake Sale, and Local H was one of the 13 bands that played, and I'm telling you, man, these guys have lost no time at all. Like, absolute legends just got up there, absolutely nailed every song. They played all the songs I wanted to hear anyway. I assume that most people would want to hear Local H. And the cool thing is in the band, there's only 2 guys, a guitar player and a drummer, and the guitar player sings. And that's it. I mean, it's an extremely unique setup. And I wanted to give this review. If you're watching this from another part of the country and you see Local H coming to town, make sure you grab tickets and go see that show, because I'm telling you, it's dope. So down in New Orleans, there were so many celebrities all over the streets, all over Bourbon Street, all over everywhere in New Orleans for the Super Bowl. And one of those celebrities was Post Malone. And he walked into this bar, restaurant, ordered some food, a couple of Bud Lights, and then when he was getting ready to bail, he tipped the bartender. And, I try to do this to the best of my ability and, just to make somebody's day when you can, right? Well, Post Malone really made this lady's day. He left her a $2,000 tip. And here's where it gets really interesting. So when she went to scan his card, it was on one of those squares, that you hook up to the machine and then, like, they run your card through. Sometimes it's on a phone. Well, when they ran his card through, it went through, everything was the same. But when she went to cash in and get her money, Square said that they couldn't confirm that Post Malone actually left that tip. So the owner of the bar and this bartender had to go jump through all these hoops to find out, how they could get a hold of Post Malone's people. Finally, one of the city representatives had a big social media following and was able to actually get out to Posty's people, and had Post Malone's assistant reach out and say, yeah, Post actually left the $2,000 tip, and she was finally able to get it weeks later. I mean, can you imagine, you're a bartender, you need the money, and because of Square, you can't get your $2,000. So in lieu of a bunch of bad advertising and bad publicity, Square ended up sending her the money, and Post Malone looks like a goddamn hero. All right, guys, super rad tour alert. There's a big tour that was announced just the other day, and I could not be more excited about this one. I was talking to Jen, and her and I both were going crazy over this. So Pantera is going to tour this summer. You know, they've been out on the road with Metallica, absolutely shredding. Yeah, we've been lucky enough here in the Columbus area to see them a couple of times via some festivals. I saw them at Incarceration, saw them at Sonic Temple. Just absolutely killer, man. Oh, and you know what? I saw them in Nashville, too, when I was down there. Yes, that was a great show, actually. My buddy John Hassey came down, and that was great right there on Broadway at Bridgestone Arena. Is so good. But they're going back out as solo headlining tour, and they're bringing Amon Amarth with them, which is going to be super cool. And some shows that we can look forward to. July 20th up in Cleveland at Cuyahoga Falls, which is one of my favorite venues. I don't know if you guys have been up there, but it's in the state forest, completely surrounded, one of the greatest amphitheaters in the country. And if you haven't made it up there, maybe this is the show you want to book. I went up last summer. You know what? I guess it was the summer before last to go see The Cure. That was the first concert I saw there, and I'm a huge Cure fan. And the venue itself actually made the concert even better. It's just so cool. The wood that the actual amphitheater is made out of is from the trees of the surrounding area. So the acoustics are just absolutely amazing. So that's Cuyahoga Falls on July 20th. And then in Cincinnati at Riverbend, you can check out Pantera. And then, let's see, I know they're coming to Nashville too. No, maybe not. Maybe they're not doing this leg on Nashville. But they're going to wrap up, and I'm definitely going to make this one, September 13th, back home in West Palm Beach, Florida. And that's going to be right there at the amphitheater, at the I Think Financial Amphitheater. And that's my home amphitheater, y'all. Like, that's where I grew up seeing, like, every cool concert that I can really put in my repertoire of concerts. Yeah, great venue, and I'll definitely be there September 13th to go check out Pantera and Amon Amarth. So you guys have probably seen this on Reddit before, but I wanted to do this here on the show. I put out on my Instagram, and if you don't follow me, I mean, what the hell is going on, guys? At Jeremy Loper. Lock me in and, check out some pictures and whatnot. And if you want to follow me, for information on the show, that's definitely the best way to get it. I put most stuff out on Instagram, goes to Facebook and Twitter and everywhere else, or X now, sorry. Yeah, so we're going to do a Ask Me Anything, AMA, all right? So this is where you guys could send questions in and ask me anything about any topic, and, well, I have to answer. So here we go. What is your go-to comfort food, Loper? Well, I don't know if this really counts as like a food, but it is like, yeah, I'll go with this. Okay, yeah. So I get this protein shake out at a place called B-Fit Cafe in Powell. I love them, man. Shout out to everybody at B-Fit Cafe. And I would go out and order one of their shakes called the Arnold, right? And I would supplement different ingredients in there, and it would be this super lengthy, wordy thing that I would do at the drive-thru every single time until they said, you know what? No. The shake that you describe, that's not the Arnold. That's the Loper shake. And I have to be honest, I have at least one Loper shake almost every day. And I love that place. I love the people. They're amazing. I mean, basically what it is it's like a peanut butter jelly sandwich inside of a protein shake. So you got, creatine, glutamine. You have peanut butter. You have strawberries, blueberries, and a delicious protein that they use over there. And so if you want to know my go-to in a pinch, that's definitely it. I mean, I love steak. I could name a million things, but that's something that I have almost every single day. And yeah, it's maybe, a little braggy to go up and order your own shake, but fuck them. What's one of your favorite ways to spend the weekend, Loper? Well, I love to be with my kids. I love to do anything with them or Jen and just, have a good time. I love just being with family, and you don't have to do anything like completely over the top and special, but just being with the kids and watching them have fun is definitely one of my favorite pastimes. Solo Mish, outside of Dadland, definitely golf. I'm a big time golfer. I love to of course watch the UFC and watch mixed martial arts, and I could definitely spend some time, kill some hours doing that over the weekend for sure. Speaking of golf real quick, have you guys seen the TGL? Like this new golf organization where, it's mostly PGA golfers that do it. They have different teams, and like Tiger Woods is involved. Him and Rory, they actually own it, and it's virtual golf. And so they do it live from this place called the SoFi Arena, and it's so sick. So the long shots, like the drives, like in fairway shots, they hit into a huge screen that's like as big as from the top of the arena to the bottom. And when they actually get it up onto the green area, like where you would be on the green in real golf, there's a physical green that they walk up to. Now, what's interesting about the green is the actual green is interactive, so they can move it. They can put different elevations on it. There's sand traps. And so, like, even when they're hitting into the screen, there's 3 different things that they can hit out of. They can hit out of the rough, they can hit out of the fairway, or they can hit out of the sand. So it's really revolutionary. And I definitely see this, coming to some sort of, like arena type thing. When they figure out how to do it, like in the consumer-based way, where, instead of going to Topgolf and you're just sitting in the bay, this would be like the next level of that, where you actually walk up to a green. And each and every green changes, and most of them are designed after famous PGA holes. So, I don't know, just a little extra for you guys. All right, so let's go here next. This guy's name is Jason. He goes, "Hey, Loper, love the show. What's the best piece of advice that you've ever gotten?" Man, best piece of advice. I mean, I'm going to have to go with just never give up, right? I mean, you got to keep pushing on. No matter what life gives you, you can never, like, bow down and bow out, right? You got to get down, pull up yourself by the bootstraps, and go out there and kick some ass and take some names. Never give up. I mean, that would be the advice that I would give anybody in any scenario, whether it's with jobs or with relationships or anything. Just never give up. Hey, Loper, if you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go? Going back to the White Lotus, this season is in Thailand, and I got to be honest with you, my boy Matt Brown, he's actually going back over there for Fight Circus over in Thailand. And if you missed that episode of the podcast, that's a few episodes back. You definitely want to go back and watch that one and hear some stories that he had in Thailand. But yeah, I've really been sweating Thailand lately. I think, if I was going to travel abroad, Thailand would definitely be on my short list. This one is from Randall Pink _17. Do you have any celebrity golf appearances coming up? Now, when I first read this, I was like, do I have any celebrity golf appearances coming up? No, actually, I don't. Would I do it? Yeah, dude, I'd definitely do it. But what I think the question was, and I'm going to take a liberty on this one, I think they were asking if I'm going to have any celebrity golfers coming up on the podcast. And the answer to that was absolutely, I'd love to. So I'll work on that for you guys. And finally, we'll get this one here, and we'll definitely do this again. This is kind of fun. I like doing these Ask Me Anythings. Somebody wants to know here, who is this? Robert? Yeah, Robert wants to know if Jelly Roll is going to be on the show. I would love Jelly Roll to come in. That would be great. Maybe we can work that out here in the next couple of weeks. I got to give him and Bunny a shout out, though, because I heard that the brand new honky tonk that opened up on Lower Broadway, Goodnight Nashville, that is Jelly Rolls, opened up and during CRS. And so Jelly performed, and I've seen like tons of video. A lot of my friends went down there. I wasn't able to make it, but tons of people that I know that went down said it's absolutely gorgeous. It's positioned right next to Kid Rock's place, and it's interesting. So at the end of the street, there's a few different honky tonks there, and it's going to be Jelly Roll, Kid Rock, and Shania Twain is going to open up where the Underground is right now on Lower Broadway. That's kind of like a little bit of a secret. A lot of people don't know that, so you're getting new information right here first, guys. If you guys ever want to get in touch with me, you can always just go and check me out on Instagram at Jeremy Loper or Loper Rocks on Facebook. I want to do more of these interactive episodes of the podcast where you guys ask questions. I'd like to eventually get it so I can like maybe Skype you guys in to the show, which would be really cool. So until next week, man, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it, man. So far, we've had a lot of success out of the gate, and it's all because of you guys. So I really can't thank you enough. And coming up on the next episode, a very special guest that you guys are, I think you guys are really going to like this dude. His name's Doobie, and we introduce you to Doobie on this show coming up next week. Thanks so much. I'm Loper. Thanks for watching.